Alright guys, we are back. It has been a minute, but we're going to dive right into things. I have a whole slew of updates of trucks and things to tell you about, things I've been up to, things I've obtained. At this point, you'll probably notice the new RC4WD Back to the Future truck sitting here front and center. That is going to be the highlight of this video here today. But I just want to clue you in on a couple other things I've had going on. It's been an extremely busy summer. Bunch of new acquisitions to the collection. Some really cool stuff that we'll touch on, and we'll save those other stuff for some other, later rig reviews as things go on. But for today, we're gonna mostly talk about the new RC4WD release. This thing is awesome. If you can't tell already, I've already, I guess, ruined it somewhat by putting gigantic tires on it. We're going to go for a full-blown 80s show truck theme on this. Old school show trucks are some of my favorite in the full-size car and truck world. So that is going to be the direction for this one that we're going to go with. But yeah, so let's dive into a couple of things real quick just to get you up to speed as to what I've been up to. Couple new acquisitions. First and foremost, we've got this RC10T here. This was my newest acquisition that actually just showed up in the mail today. It's got an UltraHive painted body. Guys that have been tuned with the channel before know I'm a huge fan of UltraHive, of Lou's work. He's an old school style painter. One of the only reliable painters I've encountered in all the years I've been doing RC. I saw that he posted up a couple of RC10T bodies that he had done, and he had said that he had one more body left. I immediately PM'd him, jumped on that, got the body, and then the rolling chassis that he was using to do the advertisements for the body was actually up for grabs. Worked a little payment plan with him because I had some other things going on, and finally got that squared away, and here that is today. This thing looks awesome. Total old school paint job. The only thing I got to do for it is get a stealth tranny for it, and this thing's going to be ready to rock and roll. It is in perfect shape. It's got a chassis tub mod and just really nice components, polished out shocks, the whole bit, and it's ready to rock and roll. Next up is going to be this Sean Sally Customs 4-door F-150 that I just recently acquired. I had talked to Sean about this probably a couple of times over the past couple of years. And after picking up this one, which was built by a member of Scale 4x4, RIP, I picked this up off eBay, and when I posted it on my Facebook page, Sean was like, hey, I know we've talked about this other, Blackfoot bodied scale truck, are you still interested? I was able to strike a deal with Sean. He was gracious enough to work a payment plan with me for that as well. It wasn't a cheap truck, but it was worth every penny. Thing's gorgeous. Goes very well with my other Ford scale truck here that I just picked up. And yeah, Toyotas, Fords, Chevys, I don't discriminate. If it's cool, it's cool. These are a great addition to the collection. This is a great addition for the old school style stuff that I got going on. So yeah. But the highlight of today, this new truck from RC4WD. I've actually had two of these body sets sitting here, new in the bag, or box I should say, for quite some time. I have not had any time to dive into actually building them. When I saw that they were coming out with this, and it was basically done and ready to rock, I had to jump on it. And for someone that's, I don't even know if I've ever bought a ready-to-run vehicle. Actually, that's not true. I bought the Marlin truck. Another great choice. This thing is unbelievable. First and foremost, the paint quality on it is fantastic. It is basically a base coat clear coat from what I could tell, like an automotive grade paint job, and it is detailed perfectly. They did flat black in the bed. The tail light lenses and the quarter light lenses are painted or detailed however they did it very nicely. Even as far as the trim around the rear of the tail lights is actually done in flat black. It looks fantastic. I think they kind of modeled it after the Back to the Future truck, even though there's a little bit of a year discrepancy there. They advertised this as an 87. Marty's truck was actually an 85, the last year of the solid axle and the EF5 version. before they transitioned over to IFS and EFI from there on forward. So this was a really cool truck to scoop. I got it, I pulled it out of the box, and it was sitting pretty high in terms of like wheel well to tire size height. And I've had these RC4 drive, Swamper Thornburgs for quite some time, and I had plans of doing an old school style show truck for quite some time, and I just haven't had the time to do it. But now that I have a solid base here, I figure now's the best time of any time to get it done. I started just by literally bolting on the intercos here with a set of RPP Hobby Gearhead RC Champ 500 wheels, which to me just screamed textbook old school. It already has KC lights, roll bars, and Smitty built style bumpers, just like Marty's truck had in the movie. That was done as like a custom 4x4 by Statler Toyota. If you're familiar with the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. And kind of my plan is with this thing is to do up a full-blown like late 80s, early 90s show truck. So I'm probably going to I'm either going to hand paint some old school style graphics onto the body, or I also have some vintage decals from like Autographics and things of that nature that I've used on like the old school Cloudbusters, and I know that they'll work on this. So I'm gonna get those out from where I have everything stored. I'm gonna try to mock that up, see how I can get it to look, and we'll go from there. Whether I'm gonna paint or just sticker it. Either way, I think it's gonna turn out pretty cool. Already today, I've ordered yellow and blue shock boots for it. I also have a dual front shock kit for it that I had obtained quite some time back that I was saving for this old school style show truck build. So at the very least, the front is going to be getting dual front shocks. I kind of have an idea to do also dual rear shocks in the back, but my plan is to literally add as many shocks as I possibly can to this thing, because that's what they did back in the day. So the more shocks the better. It's going to be rather shocking, no pun intended. And yeah, it should be pretty cool in the end. It's been something I've been wanting to do. I think I'm going to separate the bed from the cab and try to hinge it so I can do a little tilt bed action with that. I think that'd be pretty sweet. But this thing, they did a phenomenal job on it. The doors and everything are just hinged perfectly. They open and close exactly like how they're supposed to. I mean, in terms of just if you're looking for an ultimate scale truck without having tons of modeling skills, this is a great option. The hood opens, it's got a full-blown engine bay in there. It just looks really great. They did an awesome job on this. I'm really stoked about it. And I'm kind of excited to see how I'm going to make it my own, because I'm sure this is going to be popular, so you'll probably see a million, McFlys out on the trail now at this point. So yeah, tons of new stuff going on. New RC10T, couple new Ford Blackfoot bodied scalers. Over here in the corner, you might see creeping over here. This was a body I had custom painted quite some time back. My friend Cole has a painter in California. He did that up as like an old school show truck paint scheme. And the chassis under there is a original CCP custom chrome parts Cloudbuster chassis that I obtained from my friend Brian, formerly of the Paint Factory. It's now Space Ghost Customs. Brian and I used to race on Tweaked Racing many years back. He's been in the Cloudbuster game for forever. He's a true OG. He was going to be partying with this, and I jumped on the opportunity to scoop it from him. So that's another little cool side project I've got going on top of the 8 million other projects that I always have going on. But I think my focus is going to be, for right now, we're going to try to do up a little bit with this new McFly truck here, and see where that goes. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to make something cool of that. And we'll see what else we got going on. We're wrapping up the summer here. Weather's getting a little bit cooler. I still got tons of one-to-one projects that I'm working on. I got the GTR and a million pieces in the garage. I got to part down the old 83 Toyota rock crawler. It's just too rusty to continue on. I've replaced it with an 85 with an exo cage, 37s, the whole bit. So I got a little bit of work to do on that. Trying to squeeze in some more one-to-one size wheel and trips that I could also bring the tiny trucks on. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm going to bring you up close in person with this thing, just as a quick overview on it. And yeah, until then, catch you guys on the next one. Thanks. Alright guys, let's take a look at this new RC4WD 1987 Toyota Xtracab pickup truck. This is the latest release from RC4WD, and they did an absolute fantastic job. Opening doors, fully detailed interior, and they really just did a really nice job on this. The paint on it is like, it's gorgeous. It's got a really, really nice, shiny, gloss black paint job. And it came out great. And they went as far as really just detailing all the little things on it. You know, stuff as simple as like the door handles and the trim and stuff. And even the back of the bed, they did it flat. It's got the KC lights on it. You know, it's Smittybilt style bumpers. And they really just knocked it out with this thing. It came out fantastic. It's based on the TF2 long wheelbase variant, which was originally their 4-door Hilux body, and then this body attaches to the chassis quite nicely. I went ahead and put on some Gearhead RPP Hobby Champ 500 wheels and some Interco Thombergs, which to me just screams old school 80s style show truck, which is definitely the route I'm looking to go with this thing. Some things to note: it did come with the actual scale hubs front and back, which I thought was really, really awesome. I mean, the whole truck is just really nice. It's got the newer rendition of the Yoda axles, the Yoda 2 axles there. They have a little bit more steering than the Yoda 1s, especially when you put the XPDs in them. And the truck as a whole just really looks great. It also comes with the full engine bay now, with the 22RE in there, which, you know, what's kind of nice is it's detailed, but it leaves room for improvement. You can see there's no like battery cables or spark plug wires or anything like that, or brake lines. But that's all stuff that I'm gonna add, which which will be a nice little modeling project as I go along with it. So even though it's ready to run, it's still going to be, you know, for the builder to customize and you know, make it their own. Which I already started doing, you know, just something as simple as a simple tire and wheel change. You know, so I think it looks really cool. It's got the typical, you know, big, you know, tires, smaller rims, the 80s show truck era. Tailgate opens. I mean, the whole truck is just really, really nice. I'm super pumped about this one. They did a great job on it. And I'm looking forward to, you know, as I previously said earlier, doing some old school style graphics and coming up with some sort of hinge system for the bed. And that is kind of the direction I'm going with it. And I'll definitely have this down with me in Florida for USTE 2022. And we'll see what we can do with that. Just to bring you a little up and close with the old UltraHive RC10T here. The paint on this thing, I mean, the video honestly just does not do it justice. Lou does such a fantastic job in his paint work. He really does. He has all the old school stickers on there, Novak, autographics, and the paint is just awesome. The chassis is super clean, doesn't even have a scuff on the bottom or anything like that. So really stoked to have been able to pick that up. And then again, this was the Sean Sally build. Gorgeous, seamless bodywork. Sean does a fantastic job on his builds. I've owned a couple of his creations in the past. Like his Cherokee Chief here, which has been a fan favorite. Been down to USTE a couple of times with this one. I just love the starting off with a Blackfoot. I've always had a soft spot for Blackfoot bodied scalers. This particular one has some old school RC4WD drive mini axles in it, which really helped keep the the tires and stuff under the body. And I actually have a really cool tire and wheel set coming for this that shipped out today. So you guys will get to see that on the next update when we dive into that rig closer. Again, this was another one that I just scooped for my birthday. This was built by a member of Scale 4x4 RC. You'll have to forgive me, I don't actually know what his username was, and being that the site is gone, I have no way of looking it up, unfortunately. But he did a fantastic job on this. It's based on a stretched CC01 chassis. It even has a typical twin traction beam sag going on in the front. We'll dive into some more details on that in the future when we do a little rig review action. And as previously mentioned, this was a custom cloud body I had painted and a CCP chassis, and it's got the aluminum blower from Arch Fabrication on there. Dan does fantastic machining work, and I'm looking forward to getting that built up as well. I've got some pretty cool old school goodies for that. So yeah, that's where we're at. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a minute. Hopefully as the summer's winding down, we'll have some more time to go over some more trucks. There's been all kinds of new acquisitions. There's just kind of stuff everywhere at the moment. Got a bunch of new Cloudbuster builds coming up, and just a bunch of stuff in general. So yeah, we're gonna dive back into things, and we're gonna get the ball rolling, and that's gonna be that. All right, guys, till the next one. Thanks.